start with 7.1 calendars. All right, welcome back. We'll start with 7.1. We'll go to calendars. Anyone ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So tomorrow I have RCRC, Golden State Finance, and Golden State Connect executive committee meeting in Sacramento. To Thursday, I'll be meeting with the Gleaners at 10, and then the Clean Water Program in the afternoon. Friday's Veterans Day. With that, Saturday I'll be going to the veterans event that they hold at the Big Valley Conference Room. Starts at 11. Back here Monday for the CAO meeting, and then the Central Region Town Hall meeting at 6 p.m. at the Lucerne Alpine Senior Center, and back here Tuesday for Board of Supervisor.
Okay, Supervisors, last year.
Have an LTA meeting tomorrow to start off the day. Meeting with PEG to get some things organized for Thursday. Also for our agenda meeting coming up on that Monday. On Thursday, I'm meeting with the grand jury, having a meeting with our CHIP action team from Hope Rising. Going to join the Clean Water Program as well with Supervisor Crandall. And later on that evening at Woodland Community College at 5 p.m., there's a pretty big meeting as far as being important to show up and show your support for the needs of Woodland Community College over in Clear Lake. The Board of Trustees will be having their meeting over at that campus. I do plan to have PEG there so that it can be streamed live. I believe it'll be on the City of Clear Lake's YouTube channel, but please come out, show your support. We need to make sure we continue to not just have higher education in the area, but great opportunities within higher education in our area. This moment in time, pretty lax the rest of that week. And then starting Monday, I am taking off for the CSAC annual conference and coming back that, is that Friday or Thursday? Anyways, coming back later that week.
Friday morning.
And then meeting with our CAO and not doing that actually, getting ready for the holidays after that and getting ready for our meeting on the 28th. I will most likely pop in on one specific item on our meeting on the 14th, and because AB 2499 allows me when conducting business away from the area to join in, I'll be able to join in and vote and provide my feedback on that.
Anyone ready down here?
All
Is
good.
there no sound?
I got sound.
Is there sound on Granicus or just the?
So go or don't go? Wait.
Was that a pause? I'll be able to join in. Granicus is fine.
You just heard Bruno.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, LTA tomorrow morning too with Bruno. I think it's at the Lower Lake
Yeah.
building in Lower Lake. And then Thursday, I have another thing. I'll be actually going out of town. We got playoffs this weekend, so
Congrats.
heading up to Fortuna. I want to congratulate all the Lake County teams that are in the playoffs. I think we got three for sure. I know Clear Lake, Kelseyville, and Middletown are in there, different divisions, but you know, great season for everybody, all the teams in Lake County. And then obviously Veterans Day, but we had a special RRA meeting yesterday. We were able to convene it and pull it together to look at long-term opportunities, to bring, you know, some opportunities for the RA, always looking at funding, and I'll let Chair Pyska elaborate on that, so I don't just take it all, but I think it was a good meeting, positive reception. We got a quorum, so we got it done, so very important as we're looking at all these grant opportunities and movement, and I thought it was a very positive meeting all the way across the board with all the directors. So it was a really good meeting. I am going to still reach out to the CSAC folks. I know they asked for some tribal participation. I was just confirming, I'm see if I can get in on that Monday meeting in Oakland, just to have a
13th.
conversation. Also, just to let you know, it was announced at the California Nations Indian Gaming Association meeting that meeting was happening. So hopefully there will be some good participation at that thing on Monday in Oakland. And then back here, obviously, for the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday. I did not make the class and comp meeting yesterday afternoon. So I got the information, but I did not make the meeting yesterday. That's it.
Scotts Valley will have a representative, and I remembered who it was. The Point Arena, Manchester Point Arena chairwoman said she would set up to go too. So at least there's two, and Moke, if you go.
Yeah, I'm planning on going.
Okay, last week I went to Eureka for North Coast EMS. Really nice meeting, nice quick meeting. And among other things, we did approve, kind of retroactively approving concepts, some preliminary input that North Coast EMS has provided to what will turn into a draft ambulance ordinance at some point. So that was good, and there was good engagement, and people seemed to be happy with the process as it was emerging. Friday, thanks to everyone who attended, kind of a very ad hoc meeting on our emergency shelter and some code issues we needed to discuss on that. Still some stuff to talk about, but I found that meeting to be pretty hopeful and productive. I did go to class and comp on Monday. We did review a proposal from social services. I expect we'll probably be hearing something about that at this board in the near future. Tomorrow, it looks like I have an ad hoc for First Five Lake. We need to recruit some new commissioners for that body. That's important. Thursday, Behavioral Health Advisory Board at 4. That'll be here in Lakeport at Circle of Native Minds. Next week, I won't be traveling to CSAC, so I will not be attending the new supervisors reunion, but I hope those who are attending will reach out and give a warm welcome to those who are new to the fold. I found all of my new supervisors training very helpful, and we have a good rookie class in there. And I think that's all I got for right now. Ag Advisory coming up on November 20th, which is a Monday. So that's it.
Are we okay for broadcast?
Coming up. We're having issues with audio on Zoom, so give us 5 to 10 minutes.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back in 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes? Leave the mic on. Okay.
Oh, he asked if your mic was on.
My mic is on?
No.
Oh, no. All right.
All right, there it is.
Well, no, she hasn't been
I
speaking.
haven't been talking.
All of our mics are on. I'm not starting over. You can hear her?
Yeah, right.
Before lunch, too. Ooh, they're in office.
The one under the stairs?
Yeah. But a snack shop.
And I had way too many carbs at lunch.
Good stuff, though.
Jake needs to do that. Cause I'm not like the. Cause you're the host, right? I know, but I don't have like the administrator of the Zoom webinar. Jake, he's on Zoom, but he probably can't hear us.
Yeah, why don't you call?
I'm jabbering.
Oh, you're jabbering. Joanna?
Yeah, he said he's looking into it.
Do you go, Mo, ever to the SMAC meetings?
No, I haven't since I've been,
I have it on my calendar, but,
the only one I've ever gone to is the Geothermal Advisory Committee.
I want to say someone wanted me to go, and that's why it's on my calendar, but I have something else. I think that
The,
is,
the seismic,
yeah. Seismic monitoring. Is that Scott Harder?
yeah, I think, no, maybe Doug, I don't know who that is. I've never been part of it.
Maybe it was Daniela. It looks like I got an invite.
I think they were short a person. I mean, someone needs to be added. I don't think it was a quorum issue.
I think they wanted a supervisor there. I can't remember. You know anything?
Okay, so,
Seismic
There's
monitoring.
GAC, SMAC, and what's the other?
okay, so Jake, you should be able to hear me.
GAC and SMAC.
I can see the feed going to Zoom.
Smacking.
Actually, I can see it going to Facebook, YouTube, and Granicus. And, yeah, why don't you see if you can talk to me?
Or Doug. Where-
No, we cannot hear you. Who's the host? I think it's Johanna's the host. Is that right? No, I'm not hearing you at all. Okay, well then let me try rebooting this laptop. Well, let's try this, and if this doesn't work, then if you can just, wait, I'm going to just stop it now. Okay. Stop. No, because that's only for video. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let me go back there. Maybe I should just do a reboot. Because we weren't hearing you in here. Yeah. Exactly. So we just want to let everyone know we're having a technical issue. It may be with one of the IT laptops, and we're just going to reboot it and see if we can resume Zoom. Yeah, it's still on. Hold on, almost there. Let's see. Okay, so now you should see me coming back in. Thank you. And let me, okay, you're gonna make me co-host? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now can you hear me in Zoom? Yeah, okay, Stephen said yeah. Okay, so it was this laptop just for, okay, great. All right. I think it's time to replace this one. Okay, thanks. Okay, Chair, we are ready to return.
Thank you. I think it was my turn on calendars. So yes, yesterday we did have a special RRA meeting. We talked about the second round of the Strategic Growth Council grant that we're applying for. So as you might recall, last September we applied, or October we applied for one a year ago, and we narrowly missed that. And so we're doing it again. This time it's due in December, and we needed to have a group discussion about the possibility of a biochar utilization program in the county. So we kind of touched on that, and there's more to come on that later, hopefully, fingers crossed. And tomorrow, I have agenda review. It's possible I'm having a meeting with Fire Safe Council and our climate resiliency officer, Terry Logston. I might have to miss my EELU committee meeting. I have a thing I have to do with my family. And then Thursday, trying to decide if I can get to both the SMAC and the Fire Safe Council meetings. I have a discussion on the Mediterranean oak borer with Terry Logston and our Ag Commissioner. And I just want to alert everybody to some rather unfortunate news that we received at our tree mortality task force meeting 2 weeks ago, that the Mediterranean oak borer, which was first found in Napa County, was discovered possibly through the cooperages where the French oak was being imported for barrels, and now the oak borer, it's an ambrosia beetle, is spreading through Sonoma, Napa counties, and it was last year detected at the very southern end of Lake County, and now it's made its way all the way up to Lakeport and is devastating our valley oaks and blue oak populations. So I just want to let everybody know that we've been monitoring, or Mike Jones has been monitoring it, and he finally rang the alarm bell a couple weeks ago. We're going to be bringing more to the board. So in the meantime, it's just really important to talk to people about not moving firewood around right now, because that's how this beetle moves. Then later in the afternoon, I'm going to have a meeting with a constituent in Kelseyville. And Friday, I will be spending some time with my family this weekend, and I'm really sad to miss the Veterans event. I really love that event at Big Valley. Monday, I could have my meeting with CAO Parker and then head to Oakland for CSAC for the week. And then on the 20th, lots of meetings, Ag Advisory, meeting with CAO, a grant application meeting, and then the RRA meeting. And then on the 22nd, I've got the NCO board meeting. And then coming back here for the 28th, the next meeting that I'll be at. Okay. So then moving down on our agenda to 7.2, consideration of holiday greeting cards for the board, from the Board of Supervisors to send to Lake County troops in the amount not to exceed $600 and authorize the county administrative officer or designee to purchase. And this is a conversation that Supervisor Crandall and I had, just to give a little more personal touch to our overseas troops who are deployed away from their families during the holidays. And if we want to hopefully make this a new annual tradition coming from the board, that we can put in the Tango Mike boxes that go out November, December.
Yeah, it's usually the third Thursday at the Umpqua Bank where they have their headquarters, and like they put their proclamations that we have in the box. They anything that's given from the county or anywhere, letters from kids, things like that, cards. So yeah, these can go along with it. This is plenty of time if it's approved to get it in there. So yeah.
Yeah. So I just envision just a really nice card with picture of of our county, something, and then a message from the board and packaged up. We anticipated about 250 to 300 cards.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, we can get an exact number. So maybe we bring this as an option out of the board budget is what I was thinking, even though it wasn't in the memo.
Trying to think of how many packages they do each time, but yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I just know it's a huge cart full of boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see what you all thought about that.
Yes.
Supervisor Spatier.
So I'm going to vote no on this. I think it's a great idea. I just don't know that I want to use tax dollar payers for this. I think that we can kind of take example from the cards that we do get over the holidays from other representatives, and it all says on there not paid for by taxpayer money. And I think that I'd be willing to volunteer my share out of my own pocket to make sure that this does happen, but not utilizing taxpayers' dollars. I want to make sure that goes back into the community itself.
Oh, that's a good point, and I'd be willing to contribute to that too.
Yep. Same
Yeah,
for
me too.
Okay. So looks like it'll be about
120.
120 each. Yep. So if we can get those contributions to admin by the end of the week, so we can get this rolling, that'd be great.
And I like the idea of a picture of the county itself to remind.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the picture of the county itself, just to remind them of home. I like that as well. Is there a simple message that goes along in there that we say, since this is Veterans Day, something along the lines of?
Well, it will hit them in December, probably around the
Okay, gotcha.
holidays, so just.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, and we appreciate, you know,
Your service.
their service, but also, you know, we're sending we're sending them lots of Lake County warmth during this time when it's difficult to be away from their families. Okay, so I'll open this up to the public. Do we have anyone in the chambers? Do we have anyone in Zoom? Okay. Go ahead, Betsy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The sound on the Zoom meeting began with you saying, I think it's my turn to give my calendar. What happened to the rest of the supervisors? I've sat here all morning with this on.
So we had some difficulty in Zoom, but the broadcast continued in Granicus, and then there was an issue there, so we stopped the meeting. So we were just doing our calendars. If you want to go back and review Granicus, you can see what happened during that time period, but it wasn't very long. It was just calendars.
Well, you know, believe it or not, the calendar reports are one of the most important features of what the public learns about what you guys are doing, and we really appreciate it. So I will watch the Granicus thing. I just wondered what happened. Thank you.
Yep, sometimes we have technical difficulties. Okay. Okay, 7.3, consideration of proposed 2024 Board of Supervisors regular meeting calendar. I'll turn this over to CAO Parker. We have been sharing some thoughts on this.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. For your review, you received a draft of the proposed calendar, and what I'd like to do is go month by month, because I know there's different meetings, we have different conferences, we have different obligations, and just so we can revise it to accommodate everybody's schedule. So if we could start in January. I would like to reserve the 30th for the annual governance meeting, unless, of course, there's a conflict.
And I did have one. That's the week that I go to the Farm, Ranch, and Rural Communities EPA meeting. But I did mention in hearing Supervisor Sabatier, if I need to find out the schedule, of course, but if it's, I know the travel days are usually Monday. Tuesdays are usually like, what do you call those? They're tours. And so depending on the tour and the time frames, I might be able to just zoom in. Yeah.
Could we just switch the 23rd and the 30th? I know it's a fifth Tuesday, but we have so many holidays that month, we could make it a special meeting.
Well, it would be, the 23rd would just be a regular meeting, and we would make it the governance.
The governance meeting.
That would be
Okay.
the agenda item.
And I don't see where else we can put governance other than outside of the Tuesday.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. I just need consensus.
Yes.
Yes.
Then in February, I have not heard any issues or challenges, but
So the issue and challenge will be that the 30th is a workshop, so it's not a board meeting. The 6th is a day off, and then the 13th, half of the board will be in DC for NACO Legislative Conference.
Yep.
so I thought the 6th was the mid-year budget.
Oh, is that a different color?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's yellow.
I was like, ooh, did I misread this?
It's orangish
Orange.
yellow
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah,
yellow
the
with
6th
black.
is the mid-year
Gotcha.
budget.
Okay. Then I don't have an issue. I thought it was going to be 3 weeks of,
Oh,
okay.
Well, we won't be here on the 13th, though. Are you, Supervisor Crandall, will you be in DC
So-
with the delegation this year?
I don't know. It depends on if I'm on the executive committee again, and I think they have all 4 and 5 supervisors. Last year, I don't know if that's the name for it, but the previous chair, he moved away to Arkansas, so they had an extra spot. But now the chair, Doug Teeter from Butte, he'll be the past chair and probably will go with them now that they have a full 5. So, I mean, I'll have to wait and see.
Okay, so we may not have a quorum for the 13th.
March? Oh, so with that, February is consensus, and we move on to March, all right?
Yes.
Any issues on March?
No.
Any issues on April?
When is the CSAC Legislative Conference? It's usually mid-April?
That's a good question. Usually it's mid-April, 12th and 13th was the last one. But I see no problem since there's not
Yeah.
any gaps of
Right.
missed meetings in between that.
Yeah, that would be the only thing for April.
All right, can we move on to May?
I don't have any issues with May.
All right. June?
There'll be one for NACO in June. We'll be in Florida.
No, that's July, but
that July?
I have an issue for June. I'm hoping, and I know this puts a little more pressure, because we would typically do budgeting the week of Juneteenth, but because that's a holiday now, makes it a little complicated. If we could do the budgeting on the 12th and 13th, I feel like this just gives more flexibility for department heads and staff to be able to take a vacation. I know a lot of people don't vacation, with school schedules and budgeting going the entire month of June, I feel like everyone's going to take a vacation in July. And that's going to complicate things for us because we will be in Florida the week after the 4th, the 12th through the 16th. And I know that pushes it up a week, but it also gives a little bit more time for people to spread their time off, which is equally important.
So moving it to the 12th and 13th?
That's a whole 2 weeks.
Or we do it on the 20th and 21st,
I
but
really don't mind doing that.
With your permission, may I ask Casey to come forward, and since it's her budget this year, so I'd like to hear her input.
Hello, Karen, Deputy County Administrative Officer. So the week of the 12th, the auditor will actually not be in California. She'll be in Florida.
okay, well,
Can't do that week.
Okay.
But we can do the 20th and 21st.
okay, great.
All right.
Okay,
All right, consensus?
Yep.
Yes, all right. July.
There'll be a NACO conference.
yeah, so,
I was wrong on June.
yeah, we will,
And that's the week of the 8th, correct?
I think it's the 12th.
Oh, okay.
It's the weekend, but the Monday is it depends on what the travel days look like, coming back Monday or Tuesday. Last summer, we came back on Monday.
And I know that EPA for the second meeting is usually in July as well. I know this last year, it was during the 15th, like that week, if that makes sense, I think it was the third week.
So does anything need to get moved, or?
I just don't, but I don't know, it's tentative,
Yeah.
so.
Can I suggest that maybe the 30th be set as a potential special meeting in case, and that we could just cancel if we need to? That way it's already on the calendar.
Yeah, we have it set aside. What we'll do is, we'll just change the color. to
Purple.
Purple, there you go.
We'll change the color.
Didn't mess up on that one.
All right, anything else on July? No? August?
Looks good.
September?
Looks fine.
Okay. October? Okay. November?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. Who knows when CSAC will be next year?
Right. And December? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything to change.
All right. We'll make the revisions and send it back out to the board and distribute it to staff and wherever else it needs to be posted for the community.
Okay,
Thank you, board.
thank you.
So we need a motion to approve it with the changes?
Sounded like a motion.
I think
Yes.
so.
I'll second that.
Public comment?
Yeah, public.
Do you have any public comment on the calendar?
As amended, did we?
Yeah, he said that.
Oh, I did, I'm sorry.
Anybody in Zoom? I'm not seeing anyone in the chambers.
I have two individuals right there that'll help you with that, the change
So
date.
the amendments we're approving is moving the budget from the 26th and 27th of June to the 20th and the 21st, and to July 30th into a potential special meeting.
Yes,
And moving the governance meeting.
yes.
Okay,
Did we
we have a motion and
To
a
the
second.
23rd.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I move to approve the proposed 2024 Board of Supervisors regular meeting calendar as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 7.4, consideration of A, board appointment to the 2024 Rural County Representatives of California, RCRC, delegate and alternate. B, board appointment of 2024 Golden State Connect Authority, GSCA, Board of Directors, delegate and alternate. C, Board of Directors to the 2024 Golden State Finance Authority, GSFA, Board of Directors, delegate and alternate. And B, Board appointment to the 2023 RCRC Environmental Services Joint Power Authority, ESJPA, Board of Directors, delegate and alternate. Who's taking it?
I'm still willing, I've
Yeah.
been doing it.
I'm not change anything.
Yeah.
I'm still willing to.
Looks good.
Okay. Any public comment?
Actually.
Oh, go ahead.
One change, for the ESJPA, it has Supervisor Simon as primary and Lars as alternate. I believe it's supposed to be the opposite, or is it typical that it's like that?
Yeah,
Vice
that's a
Chair
good
Simon,
question.
sorry.
I'm supposed to be, and then he just goes?
Okay.
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 I knew he was the one that.
Yeah, he's the one who attends all the meetings.
Okay, do we have anyone in the Zoom room? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board for action.
Madam Chair, I move to appoint the 2024 Rural County Representatives of California Delegate and Alternate, or I guess for just normal RCRC as the primary chair, Supervisor Crandall, and the alternate Chair Pyska.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Madam Chair, I move to appoint for the 2024 Golden State Connect Authority, GSCA Board of Directors, the delegate Supervisor Crandall, the alternate Chair Pyska.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Madam Chair, I move to appoint the 2024 Golden State Finance Authority Board of Directors, delegate Supervisor Crandall, alternate Chair Pyska.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And Madam Chair, I move to appoint to the 2023 RCRC Environmental Services Joint Powers Authority, ESJPA Board of Directors, delegate Vice Chair Simon, and alternate Director Lars Ewing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 7.5, consideration of appointments of a director and alternate to the California State Association of Counties, CSAC Board of Directors for 2024.
I would love to continue.
Me as well. Any comments from the board?
Nope.
Any comments from the public? Anyone in Zoom? Okay.
So who's current director?
I'm the delegate, and Chair Pyska is the alternate.
Okay, move to appoint Supervisor Sabatier as the primary representative, and Chair Pyska is the alternate to the CSAC Board of Directors for 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 7.8, consideration of National Association of County and City Health Officials, NACCHO, funding opportunity to promote harm reduction and strategic patient-centered care.
Did we skip 7.6, or we did that earlier?
7.7?
No, we
7.6.
skipped 7.6.
Oh, I did skip.
We can go right back.
I'll go, let's just do
Okay.
7.8 and I'll go back to 7.6. Thank you. Come on up. All right.
Hi there.
Hey.
Kim Tangerman, Lake County Public Health Deputy Director. And I just wanted to explain what this item is. NACCHO, which was the National Association of County and City Health Officials, this is a federal grant that we have applied for $60,000. It was a really short turnaround time. We found out about it on November 1st. That's when we opened up the email, the opportunity, and it was due last night by close of business. But I wanted to let you know that this, Dr. Doohan and Sarah, who is the VISTA, and Amanda from admin, and myself pulled together and really did a bang-up job on getting this out. This grant actually aligns perfectly with work that is being done through the SafeRx Coalition, as well as the HCC, which is the County of Lake Healthcare Coalition and its agencies. And so when we saw this, we just knew we had to jump on this. What this will do is the main project will be performed by Dr. Doohan, and it's for academic detailing, which is the supporting, educating, and expanding the current provider pool in Lake County that will treat with medically assisted treatment. The X-waiver license was lifted some time ago, but there hasn't been a huge amount of providers stepping into that role now that they don't have to do that extra education. And this, we feel, will really benefit for the harm reduction efforts that we are all trying to do so much by getting more people, more providers on board with medically assisted treatment. The Safe RX Coalition is well underway for years now, and the HCC is a highly engaged group due to the COVID that they went through. So this is ambulances and the hospitals and all the clinics and things. And so all these agencies, both in Safe RX that are represented there and the HCC, are heavily impacted by the overdose crisis, and all are on board with these efforts and this grant. We have letters of support from agencies that we submitted with this. So that's what I have. Are there any questions for me, though?
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
Just what amount of overhead there is on grant administration? It looks pretty simple, but
Yeah, it's basically salary for Dr. Dewan, and to hopefully bolster the opportunity to get a health program coordinator for Safe RX, and I will lovingly hand off those duties to a permanent person who can do them and do that service justice. So yeah, it's salary.
so it's a one and done, or would we be reapplying in future?
This one is a one and done, but you know, I mean, we're hearing so much stuff that's tickling out there that I would be surprised if there was not more funding that came through this way. NACHO's constantly putting out things that are of interest. It's just kind of picking what aligns with what we're already doing, you know, to help move it.
Okay. Anything from the public? No? Okay. I'll bring it back to the board.
Yeah, just want to follow up. Do we need a motion? Because it seems like we're authorizing the Health Services Director to execute all documents related to this funding op, so just question.
Yes, so it looks like it's it's in two parts. There is a request for consensus affirming your board support for Health Services pursuit of the funding opportunity. So that's one part. If there is consensus, then
Yeah, that's a yes for me.
and then the second part, and also a point of clarification, is to authorize the, and by motion, to authorize the Health Services Director, Public Health Officer, and/or designees to execute all documents related to obtaining this funding opportunity. Because as I understand it, the grant hasn't been awarded, is that correct?
Correct.
So that would be the motion to execute all documents, at least at this stage, related to obtaining the funding opportunity under the grant.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, 7.6, consideration of appointment to the Lake County Vector Control District Board of Trustees. And it looks like we have an application from Frank Lincoln. I'm sorry, no, not Frank. Yeah, Frank Lincoln. Yeah, my eyes went to Chuck Leonard instead. And Frank is a wonderful person and in my district. If someone else would like to handle this when we get to it, I'd really appreciate it. Do we have any comments?
Well, since you mentioned Chuck Leonard, this was one of his longtime positions in this committee, way past his time during his council membership over in the city of Clear Lake. Just want to share public appreciation. Chuck Leonard was a longtime committee member of the APC and LTA, as well as Vector Control, and truly appreciate his service to his community.
Do we have any public comment? No?
There's
Okay.
nothing further, Madam Chair. I move to appoint Frank Lincoln to the Lake County Vector Control District Board of Trustees.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Frank. And now we can go to our consent items that have been pulled. 5.5, sitting as the Lake County Air Quality Management District of Directors, authorize the APCO to extend the temporary counter hours for the district.
5.6.
Oh, I am having a really hard time reading today.
That's what we're here for.
It is the carbs. This is why I don't eat carbs. 5.5, A, approve travel to Sacramento for Supervisor Crandall to attend the RCRC Executive Committee meeting from November 7th to November 8th, 2023, in an amount not to exceed $300. B, approve travel to Oakland for Supervisor Pyska and Sabatier to attend the CSAC Annual Conference from 11/13 to 11/17 in a total amount not to exceed $4,100. And C, retroactively approve travel to Eureka for Supervisor Green to attend the North Coast EMS JPA meeting from November 1st to November 2nd in a total amount not to exceed $275.
So the reason I pulled this was I think the second time I think we had a retroactive one of these not too long ago for our visit over to Austin, Texas. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up was I spoke with admin CAO Parker that this seems somewhat, I don't want to use the word absurd, but a waste of staff time to go through a process where if we're appointed to a committee, we should be going to these meetings, and if they're taking us away from our area, that it should come along with lodging. And I believe that that is being worked on to fix our travel policy, so just wanted to mention that. However, what I asked for was the travel policy to look at it and check it out, and I just want to bring something up to our attention. I'm not looking to make any changes today. Some of it's retroactive, some of it is tonight, and that's not going to change anything, or at least I don't want to change anything that's already happened or that's happening. But I think there's an eligibility portion of our travel policy that says that I'll just read it out loud. Per applicable government code sections, total reasonable actual single occupancy lodging expenses, as long as they do not exceed per diem allowances, will be reimbursable for certain conditions and circumstances as follows. The way that I read it, and county council can tell me if I'm not reading it correctly, but it's as follows, not has to meet one of the following. It's certain conditions and circumstances as follows. Reasonable actual lodging expenses incurred by a member of the Board of Supervisors if travel is specifically authorized per Section 1.6A, and that section speaks to being appointed to committees and those that meet and gather. B, lodging is reimbursable for the evening preceding an out-of-county training meeting or other business event when the traveler would have to leave their residence before 6 a.m. on the day of the event to arrive at their destination at the scheduled time. C, lodging is reimbursable for the evening following an out-of-county training, meeting, or other business event when the traveler would arrive at their residence after 10 p.m. And so the reason that I bring this is, obviously this needs to be changed because none of these things consider the time of day spent, and if we're asking somebody to drive tired. If somebody got up at 8 o'clock in the morning and they're coming home at 10 o'clock at night, sorry, you can't get a hotel, but you've just worked for 12 hours and now I need you to drive home. And so what we're doing doesn't seem to fit logically within what we're asking every other staff member to follow. But I also feel like these things need to be reviewed and resolved so that it's about safety and it's about efficiency. And so I just wanted to bring it up because I went through all the reading and just wanted to better understand what the policy was that we had approved. And I'm glad that staff is working on that. I don't know what the timeline is, wondering if that might, yeah, I think I heard December. I didn't want to just shout that out there. So I'm glad that's coming sooner than later, just because I feel like these things are difficult to follow and difficult to meet, but at the same time, I want to make sure that if we're asking staff to meet these requirements, that we're also following the same requirements. So just wanted to bring it up just for thought and discussion, since it's relevant to the subject matter of what we're approving today. But again, happy to move forward today because I don't think these things make logical, reasonable sense when put it into practice.
Okay. Any public comment on that? Nope, okay. I'll bring it back to the board for action.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the travel for Supervisor Crandall for RCRC meeting from 11/7 to 11/8, and approve travel to Oakland for Supervisors Pyska and Sabatier to attend the CSAC annual conference from 11/13 to 11/17, and approve travel to Supervisor Green for his attendance to his JPA meeting from 11:01 to 11:02. And I hope that
In,
is appropriate enough,
in the respective total amounts not to exceed as stated. in
as
the,
stated by County Council, to continue my
In
motion.
the memo. Yep.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Go to-
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Director Jones is on her way, but since Director French is here, maybe we could take out his item while she's on her way.
5.11A, waive the formal bidding process, waive the formal bidding requirement per section 2-38.1, extension of annual agreements, and B, authorize the IT director to issue a purchase order to Carasoft Technology Corp. for Zoom video conferencing licensing in the amount of $30,860.90.
And so, Madam Chair, I pulled this, and I apologize if I didn't specifically state that I was pulling. I know you and I had back and forth on email, but I was asking based on the attachments on the number of licenses that we have, how many are actually being used? And that number was a little vague in the sense that we don't have a full annual's worth of data available to say exactly what that is, but last month we can see certain numbers. And I just kind of wanted to take the opportunity to speak to department heads and ourselves. If you need an account, maybe you should have a conversation with the department head, and maybe you should have a conversation with Director French, because there are some user licenses that are available that are not being utilized. And I want to make sure that we're getting the biggest bang for our buck. So for example, I don't have a specific Zoom account when I actually buy my own, because it's been easier that way for me to do that. But maybe I need to let go of what I'm paying for and just have a conversation with Director French and set up an account. I know that we had supervisor accounts. I think we have 3 that we might have. I don't know that we have 5. But I just wanted to put it out there just because I really want to make sure we're using this to the most efficient way possible, rather than leaving stuff behind on the table.
Well, just to follow up then, to add some nuance to the term license, there are some licenses that allow you to record, go over an hour, such like that, and then there's personal licenses, which I think is what I have activated on my machine, that would not be covered by this charge. So, and if there was any clarification, it's like, what license are we talking about? Are they department head level? Are they, staff service analyst level? Just without knowing the entire breakdown, what's the general distribution of these licenses and the general purposes for which they're used? Because to me, these are heavy lift licenses that might be central to a department's function, whereas what I do my Zooming with, my personal license is fine.
Sure. So Shane French, IT Director. Essentially, there's really only one kind of license for an individual that we purchase, and Zoom actually lets our users use the product for free for any meeting that's conducted less than 40 minutes. So you go over 40 minutes, you have to have a license. So for the most part, that meets the needs of most county employees. But what we do see is a lot of departments, especially those that have staff that work from home routinely, they're purchasing the license, the full license, the license that is listed on here, this Zoom One, they call it. And that is the license that allows you to have over 40-minute meeting. I think you can go up to like 3 hours or something like that. And so I think the report that you and I were talking about, where we said, hey, who's using these, who isn't using these, I do have the ability to kind of report on that. But it's kind of a moving target, right? Because when I buy these licenses, I buy them for a whole year. And if somebody doesn't use it this month, but they use it the next 11 months, I can't go and say, well, actually, we didn't want that license, right? It's pretty much it. You have to buy it for the year. And I buy it, and I allocate the charge to the department directly. And so they pay for that year. And I, unfortunately, don't have a way to say, okay, I'm going to bill you for 11 months instead of 12, that kind of thing. But I mean, certainly it makes sense for departments to be analyzing this usage. I don't know to what extent each individual department is analyzing that usage. But I think, again, if you have a department that is primarily work from home and they say, well, everybody gets one of these licenses, then there's certainly going to be some people that are heavier users than others.
I just wanted to provoke conversation so that we make sure we're utilizing this to the fullest.
I gave mine up last year because I wasn't using it.
I use mine. I have 3 town halls.
Yep.
Kind of a necessary thing.
I've never had one, so.
I'm guessing you don't want one either.
Yeah, I don't want one. Shane helps me get my computer. Thank you, Shane.
Okay. Any questions from the public? Bring it back to the board for action.
Thank you very much, Director French. I move to waive the formal bidding requirement per Section 2-38.1, extension of annual agreements, and B, authorize the IT Director to issue a purchase order to Carasoft Technology Corp. for Zoom video conferencing licenses in the amount of $30,860.90.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
5.13, adopt resolution changing county maintained mileage for 2022. Public Works. Director DeLeon.
Madam Chair, I am here on behalf of Director De Leon.
Okay.
The item was pulled because an attachment A was added yesterday, and we wanted to make that declare that as far as the public record. Should you have any questions, I'll send those to Scott for any answers, but I couldn't answer any of the questions you may have.
Do we have any questions? Does the public have any questions? Anyone in Zoom? Nope. Okay, I'll bring it back for action.
Offer the resolution?
All right. Supervisor Simon?
Yes.
Supervisor Sabatier?
Aye.
Supervisor Crandall?
Yes.
Supervisor Green? And Supervisor Pyska?
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, we have 5.8 is our last one, and we are waiting for Director Jones. Take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay. See you back in 5 minutes. 5.8 is the last item.
Yep.
Okay, 5.8, approve agreement between the County of Lake and New Life Health Authority, DBA, New Life LLC, for substance use disorder outpatient drug-free services, intensive outpatient treatment services, and narcotic treatment program services in the amount of $10 million for fiscal year 2023-24, and authorize the board chair to sign.
So the reason I wanted to pull this is mainly ask some questions to Director Jones and also make sure the board was aware. So one of the ways that we figured out how to make this work, because I believe we're still the only county that is involved with the Tribal 638 at this moment in time. I wanted to talk about numbers as far as dollar amounts, and I also wanted to talk about success rates and outcomes. And so in previous communication with Director Jones, I found out that we had spent approximately $5.5 million, or the cost of the services was approximately $5.5 million or over $5 million, and that we were still seeking, as of October 12th, $4.7 million in reimbursements. That has been updated since yesterday to $3.5 million. We are still looking for $319,000 from the first time that we did a contract with New Life. I believe that was a total of about $1.6 million. So we're looking at maybe 25% is still kind of being worked on as far as getting reimbursements, and approximately 60 to 70%, if not more, I don't have the percentages right in front of me, for getting the reimbursements of 22-23. The original agreement, which we had to change, was that we would not pay New Life until we were reimbursed. That didn't make sense to the state because you can't get reimbursed for something that you haven't paid for, and so we took that out of the contract. There was still an agreement with New Life that we wouldn't pay them until we got all the full reimbursements. But I wanted to share with you where we stand on reimbursements, which to me is a large number. I'm worried that we are continuing, and I'm expecting that we're going to see a higher than 5.5 million this year, since they jumped from 1.6 to above 5 million, that we're probably going to still see an increase. I don't believe we've plateaued out quite yet, but that we'll see. We went from, I believe, 27 patients in a month to 62 patients in a month. So all good things. The service is required, the service is necessary. But I don't, the comfort level of not having it within the contract that we don't have to pay until we get reimbursed is of concern to me, as I see that we still have so much that we're waiting on to be reimbursed, which means New Life is waiting on those dollars. And from the perspective of New Life, which I can't speak for, so I'm kind of making assumptions, at what point in the millions of dollars of reimbursements are they going to allow us to get deeper into before they ask us for money, since there's nothing in the contract that protects us from them saying, it's not in the contract that we can't be reimbursed until you're reimbursed. And so I'm okay with moving forward. The service should not be postponed. I just wanted to share these numbers. I'm concerned about the large numbers and the potential issue or lack of protection. I also want to make the assumption that we will get these reimbursements, but again, we're still waiting for about 25% of the reimbursements from 21-22, and still waiting for 60 to 70% plus from 22-23. And until I can see that those things zero out and get completed, my comfort level will continue to stay concerned and hypervigilant, because of the fact that in the past we've had to loan ourselves some money in order to pay it off, and this number is getting large. So again, it's not an issue with the service, other than I do want to ask about the outcomes, because I'm expecting that those things are good. It's just a matter of where we stand and what we might owe if the hammer drops and New Life says, we can't keep doing this service without you paying us, while we're still waiting on the state and the feds, or I believe just the state, to provide us the reimbursement. So that's my reason for pulling this and having the conversation, just because it's a large number, and that's it. And wondering if we can get some outcome information from Director Jones.
Go ahead.
Thank you for that. So I want to make a few points of clarification here. At no time has Lake County spent 1 penny on these services. Not 1 cent has been out of any Lake County funding source. And so graciously, Pinoleville Tribal Nation continues to put up the federal financial participation required to draw down the Medicaid reimbursements. And within the contract, though I don't have it in front of me, I believe it is very clear that they may not seek reimbursement from us until DHCS renders reimbursement. And so initially, the claims that are dating back from 21-22 that are exclusively Medicare is because DHCS did not have a system in place for drug Medi-Cal counties to actually bill that whatsoever. They were flabbergasted, I would say, that a DMC county had opted into that. I do know that San Diego is actually teed up next. Then we've been helping work with the team down there to help them understand this. As you can imagine, they're also on a very steep learning curve. So they're expanding. So just a point of clarity there, and New Life, the entire time that we've worked with them has been incredibly gracious, understanding, beyond helpful, truly subject matter experts in many arenas, and so they continue to be an excellent partner. And so I don't have a concern that that will change. I also believe that we're navigating multiple barriers around payments, and that was largely the resolution that we had brought forth canceling our reserves had not much to do with New Life. It's the fact that we've switched electronic health records, and that's going pretty rough for a lot of counties, so we're not alone in that, but I do expect it's continuing to get better and those payments continue to come through. So overall, the financial solvency of the department is not something that I'm concerned with at this time, especially with our payment reform rates. Circling back to New Life, I agree about the outcome data, and I do know that New Life does collect a lot of outcome measures, and I have tapped them to provide the data around that. I can just report that I'm aware of 6 patients receiving services at New Life Clinic who had hepatitis C, were diagnosed and treated through primary care that's offered as part of the bundled rate, and are now in remission for hepatitis C. So that's an incredible, to me, an outcome. Of course, many other outcome that we're working on, and I agree with you. I think that's all.
And if you don't mind, my clarifying, the only money that we put into it, we got back, and that was 2 years ago when we did have to take $835,000 out of loans, and that was not because of the electronic billing. That was just a matter of appropriations or along those lines.
Yes, I believe so, and we were still figuring out the intergovernmental transfer process, and I don't remember now at which point Pinoleville was like, we'll do the federal share of cost, because if we had to, that would be alarming, but we're not. So, yeah.
Okay. Any comments from the public? Anyone in Zoom? All right, I'll bring it back to the board for action.
Madam Chair, I move to approve agreement between County of Lake and New Life Health Authority doing business as New Life LLC for substance use disorder outpatient drug-free services, intensive outpatient treatment services, and narcotic treatment program services in the amount of $10 million for fiscal year 23-24, and authorize the board chair to sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes, and we will move into our closed session items. 9.1, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, Earth Waste Foundation, Inc., v. County of Lake et al. 9.2, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, McCormick v. California Public Employees Retirement System et al. And 9.3, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, FERC Project Number 77, Potter Valley Hydroelectric Project. So we will now move into closed session, and thank you for joining us today.